So the strength of a hurricane is categorized on what they call the Saffir-Simpson scale. And it's a little bit different than categorizing tornadoes in that hurricanes are categorized while they're still alive, so to speak, and tornadoes we use the enhanced Fujita scale, and it's only after the fact. Tornadoes are so short-lived that basically you don't have a chance to categorize them while they're still active. So hurricanes, remember, actually go through a life cycle in that before they are a hurricane, remember a synonym for hurricane is tropical cyclone, they are a tropical storm. Before they're a tropical storm, they are a tropical depression. Before they're a tropical depression, they're a tropical disturbance. So we kind of have this upgrading thing going along, you know. Depressions are upgraded, disturbances upgraded, depressions upgraded to storms, upgraded to tropical cyclones or hurricanes. But anyway, so we're looking at the wind speed basically. And so 1 is the least intense hurricane and 5 is the most intense hurricane. Now, you're going to see a map coming up, and although there are you know, Category 5 hurricanes historically that are in the ocean basins, when they get closer to land, only 3 Category 5 hurricanes have made landfall in between 1900 and 2005. So here is that scale that I was talking about, and as I understand it, it is they are the winds that basically makes the categorizes it as Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 4, or Cat 5. And one of the things that I think is interesting is this wind speed. Now this would be, remember the winds are most intense right outside the, in the eye wall, I guess you would say. And if you compare this winds to the winds associated with an EF5 tornado, these are less, but these last longer. So let's see, what else did I want to say? Not so surprising then, the central low, the first column here, or second column, the column next to the Cat 1 through 5, how low that central low pressure is also an indicator with regard to the strength of the hurricane, because it goes lock and step with the strength of the winds. Storm surge is, we're going to talk about that here in a minute, but basically near the eye, let's say, how do I say this? Near the eye wall where it is churning over the ocean, okay, or large body of water. I kind of liken storm surge to if you are in a pool and you twist yourself around and you put your arms out. When you twist yourself around, you basically take a wall of water basically with you, and then picture yourself twisting yourself around in a pool and coming up against land where there's no water. And basically that's what storm surge is, okay? It's a wall of water kind of whisked up from the ocean onto shore. So one of the things I thought I would kind of just take a look at is go out to this website, and this is actually a NOAA website. And to me, there's just a little bit of discussion with regard to Hurricane Katrina, which, again, Hurricane Katrina was the costliest ever hurricane, but not the deadliest. And I've seen different categorizations of Hurricane Katrina. And I think the confusion comes in the fact that when it hit landfall, it was a really strong Category 3, okay? But before it hit landfall, it was, and this is not, how do I say, this happens with hurricanes. Before it hit landfall, it was a Category 5, went down to a Category 4, and then was still an intense Category 3 when it hit landfall. So I was going to also show you, I like this site because here at the top, it goes ahead and it says, what were the Category 5s that hit landfall? Well, in 1935, the Florida Keys had a Labor Day hurricane. In 1969, Hurricane Camille hit landfall, Category 5. And in 1992, Hurricane Andrew was also Category 5. So, hope that helps. So, this is kind of showing you, you can kind of see almost this little bit of recurving going on in the ocean basins, and it's showing you the different categories of hurricanes over the last 150 years. The red actually are Category 5. And so we have Category 5s out in our ocean basins, I won't say all the time, but, and you can see tropical depression is the kind of the darker blue, tropical storm, and then of course it goes Cat 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to show you pictures on the next slide of kind of these little gizmos that these airplanes that are dedicated to flying into these storms, and then they drop these gizmos to actually get some really good data to what is going on within the storm with regard to atmospheric pressure, wind speed, wind direction, and I don't know if that's it or there's more, but so here you go. Those are important things: pressure, wind speed, wind direction. Brave people. So the hurricanes that I've been talking most about are those in our Atlantic Ocean basin that start out over the kind of over here off the west coast of Africa and ride the easterly waves over. And so they don't really have a mind of their own per se and are trying to get us over here in North America, but it almost seems like it. And this talks about how if they hit cold water, then they'll downgrade, and if they go over land, then they'll ultimately downgrade. So kind of restating something I stated earlier, I talked about the Bermuda High. That's that semi-permanent high system between the Farrell and the Hadley cell in the Atlantic Ocean. Lots of strange things happen, the Bermuda Triangle. But anyway, this is talking about how storms in the Atlantic anyway kind of curve around that. And this is showing you the curve. These colors, there are 4 hurricanes shown here, and actually all 4 of these hurricanes were in 2004. Hurricane Charlie, Francis, Ivan, and Janine. And again, when you see the dots, that actually is a weather system that's not hurricane status, that's tropical storm, and the solid line is hurricane status. Here again are some historic hurricanes. Hurricane Galveston in red, Hurricane Camille, Cat 5 when it hit landfall in green, Andrew in purple, opal in blue, Hurricane Floyd in tan, and Katrina in kind of that pinkish color, and Hurricane Ike in kind of that last tan sort of color. So this is interesting. I guess do you see where, and I'll have to double check, but let me go ahead and you see where even over land it maintained its, see how these are dots over here, like the red one, hurricane, the Galveston hurricane in 1900. It's still ... which would suggest to me it still has the status of a tropical storm, as it leaves.